Hey guys, welcome back. I am Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports and WeBuyGuns.com in Westfield, Indiana, and you're watching Marksman TV. Welcome back to another gun store vlog. The point of this video was really just to touch base with you guys. As you may or may not have noticed over the last week, I did not put out any videos, and it was because I was gone on vacation. Actually, the first vacation that I have been able to take with my family in about 2 years. So really happy to get away. We went to the Smoky Mountains, had a great time, beautiful weather, did a lot of hiking and stuff. So really cool. Now this week, Randy, who is my new operations manager, he has gone on vacation. He's currently on a cruise somewhere out in the Caribbean. So I'm sure he's having a great time, but needless to say, I'm coming back from vacation. He's gone. I've been very busy, so that's why, I haven't had out the weekly used gun review. I'm going to try and get one of those done this weekend. I'm not making any promises. Again, I am really backlogged on a lot of stuff. But in this video, we have so much cool stuff I have not been able to show you. Lots and lots of firearms. So I wanted to briefly kind of go over a store tour with you guys, show you some of the cool stuff. Again, the purpose is not to sell anything. I just want to show you guys a lot of variety of the stuff that we've been getting. Also, a couple other announcements. We are within about a month of the launch of the retail side of our website, WeBuyGuns.com. As I've been telling you guys for the past several months, we are intending to add a retail outlet. That is about done. We're nearing completion on that. So maybe in the next 4 to 6 weeks, that'll be launching. I will give you guys more updates when that happens. We get emails and phone calls and comments on YouTube on a daily basis, multiple times a day, for people asking when the retail site is going to be up. So I'm going to try and give you guys more frequent updates as we are getting closer to the launch of that. It'll definitely launch before the end of this year. So we are really excited about that. It's been a tremendous amount of work and will be a tremendous amount of work to get all of our inventory digitized on the website for you guys to look at. So thank you for the interest in that. And we are nearing the end, sort of towards the finish line of that project. Also, next, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, the weekend of October 1st, I will be out of town again attending the Iraq Veteran 8888 Shoot, the YouTuber event, which is really cool to be invited to. We are nearing 100,000 subscribers, so that's a huge milestone for us. Also, sort of being invited to an event like that is really exciting to me. It was actually 2AEDU. He was very instrumental in organizing that for me, putting me in touch with the right people and getting me invited to that event. So a huge thank you to him, and he is also going as well. We're going to be staying at the same place around a lake. I don't know much about the details of that. He has been there before, so you can look at his older videos to see details about that, but that'll be cool. I'm sure he and I will be able to do some videos while we were there, maybe a live stream or some stuff that we might be able to put up on this channel or his, and of course footage of the shoot. So that'll be really exciting. That's coming up as well. Again, that's going to be difficult to do my regular content, at least for the time being, but that'll be awesome. And then, as I just mentioned, again, coming up on 100,000 subscribers, I really appreciate that. I will do a special dedicated video to the 100,000 subscribers when I hit that milestone. For those of you who come back and watch my videos, if you're not already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you would go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Just help me get there a little bit faster. I would really appreciate that. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and take down the camera and show you guys a lot of the stuff that we've gotten in. Now, one thing I want to say real quick is I did get in a really big collection like 2 weeks ago, and I did a lot of this filming then. So a lot of that stuff you may have already seen on other videos, and it might seem kind of weird because of the timing context, but still cool to show you up close nonetheless. Plus, I'm going to add a bunch more stuff that I've gotten in over the past week or two that you guys have not seen yet, some of which may be on future weekly used gun review videos. So let's go ahead and dive into that now. Alright guys, welcome back. I haven't done one of these actual gun store walkthrough type vlogs, so today I'm going to carry the camera around, kind of give you guys an update of what's going on, as we have been very busy. But as you can see, we got a lot of firearms, and actually most of these are through a single estate collection, and it's really too many to get into a weekly used gun review, which, by the way, this is why I was so busy last week. I did not get any videos out. I do already have a weekly used gun review video filmed, which will be out Sunday morning. So look forward to that. But all sort of as I'm going, I'm going to have to inventory these today, get them logged. So as I go through them, if I find anything cool, I'll kind of turn the camera on and show you guys some interesting stuff that we've gotten in. Really nice old sort of rifles. If you're a fan of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, some cool stuff from that era. So anyway, we'll just kind of carry the camera around and show you guys some stuff that's going on today. All right, check this out. We're going back in time a little bit, and these are kind of time capsules. These are 2 Chinese NHM 91s. You guys have seen a few of these on the videos recently, but these are unopened, I shouldn't say unopened, they're open, but unfired as new in box from the 1990s. So back in the day, if you were to purchase one of these, this is how it would arrive. There's all the mags, short mag there, sling, and all that stuff. Very, very cool bipod right over there. Same over here. I'll pull one of these out. Actually, this one's already unwrapped. Sorry about the lighting. I'm kind of doing all this impromptu, but really, really, really cool. Happy to get those in. I don't know if I'm going to do a weekly used gun review video on a lot of this stuff because I've already had NHM91s in previous episodes, but let's just keep moving through and see what we pull out of this collection. Okay, check these out. These are two Mac 90s by KSports. That, again, would have come through in the 1990s. Let me open these up and show you. These are actually like new in box, or brand new in box, I should say. Let me get these out and show them to you. Okay, so pulling it out of that box, you have a clamshell styrofoam package here. So when you open it up, look at that. That would be like Christmas morning in the 1990s. This is what you would have seen opening this thing up brand new. Everything still in plastic wrap. So you have the two small 10-round magazines there, oil bottle, tool, sling unused, cleaning rod, instruction information, multi-tool. And there's the firearm, and check this out. Totally sealed and unopened. New in the box. Really, really cool. I have another one over here that's like it, but has been opened, so we'll pull that out. Hold on just a second. Okay, there's that one pulled out. We open this up. Same thing, all the same stuff. This one has been cut open at the end. Let me pull this out of here for you guys. And there it is out of the box. Beautiful gun, of course unfired. And we obviously wish that these were pre-banned guns, like the S1, S2, S3 Norenkos or Polytech Legend, but still not bad at all. You just hardly find these unopened in the box. Or I should say new in box. They are unopened, but they are not unopened, I should say. But very, very cool. Let's move on and see what else we got. Some of you guys might remember these. These are the Rexio Argentinian Pucara, sort of like Smith & Wesson clone 22s. Really, really heavy duty. Pretty cool. That one's got a cylinder issue. I gotta figure out what's going on there. Cylinder stop's not quite working. But unboxed. Very cool. Just blast from the past. Just you don't see this stuff much more, very often anymore. It's not super valuable stuff, but still cool to see occasionally. So very nice. I might throw one of these up on a weekly used gun review video just to talk about, but interesting firearms nonetheless. Let's keep moving. Here's a Llama. This is the 1XC double stack 45. It's kind of turning into a somewhat of a quick weekly used gun review with all this stuff, but I won't go into the details, but again, more to come. Just picking out the cool ones as I go through this collection. Check that out. That's an Astra A100. Used to be very popular back in the 90s. You can see the cues it took from the SIG P226. I've had these in the weekly used gun videos before, but always a good opportunity to get one out of the box. This one also had its original invoice from when it was purchased. Originally was, yeah, $250. If you guys remember, Lipsy's one of the wholesalers. I'm just trying to cover the former owner's information. $250 when purchased, again, back in the 90s. So really, really cool. I just love this. I mean, this isn't super high-end value stuff. It's just a cool blast from the past. Pull this stuff out with its original paperwork and everything. I know I'm going to keep saying that over and over, but it's always fun to see. So glad to bring you guys along. That's another interesting one, an XCAM Targa GT22T. Little Target semi-automatic 22. You just don't really see these too often anymore. So maybe I'll throw this one in a video too. Pretty interesting. Check that out, a Russian IJ70 Makarov. This one chambered in 380, like new in the box, unfired, paperwork and all. Very, very cool. I know I kind of sound like a broken record, but there is that one. Just a little bit of dried factory oil on it. Nice. Check that out, an old Dan Wesson Model 14. 357, a little bit of surface rust I need to clean off of there. 357. We'll keep moving. Here we have a Cobra M11. We had the the Mac series of submachine guns that had come out through the 1980s, and this is a semi-automatic version of the stock. So a very long barrel shroud, get it over 16 inches if you're going to use the stock with it. But really interesting semi-automatic firearms that were never really too expensive, and they still really aren't today. And of course, they're full auto machine gun counterparts. They're probably about the cheapest NFA items you can get into, starting at about $7,000 or so dollars. But pretty interesting. Again, kind of blast from the past, 1980s and 90s. There you go. Drug wars all the way. We'll keep going. Check this out. I've done one of these in a weekly used gun review video. This is a Rossi Gallery gun. The one I had was, this one is new in the box, unassembled with nickel finish. This is a youth model. Again, they're not ultra expensive, but they are just really, really cool from that period. So I don't know if I'll put this in a video, as I've already talked about one maybe a month or so ago, but again, wanted the opportunity in this video to just briefly show you guys a lot of this cool stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, just as it was when it was first opened. So there you go. Okay, check this one out. This is a Winchester 94 in its original box. Looks like it's probably from the 1970s, but I haven't dated it yet. 30-30. These have probably taken more deer on the North American continent than anything else. Just some dried factory oil on it. I don't know whether it's been fired or not. It may have been. Does not really look new in the box like some of the others. A couple dings in the stocks. It's probably been used. Actually, that may just be a knot in the wood. I don't know. Anyway. Very, very cool. But I'm just sitting here logging these in, just taking you guys along for the ride, so we'll just get through these and we'll keep going on. Alright, here we have two Fire Star Plus models, double stack, 9mm. You guys remember I had a couple Star pistols on the weekly used gun review. It came in through the 1990s and were very popular around that era. This one still has its hang tag still attached to it. Again, a lot of these unfired in their original boxes, as this was the inventory of a dealer who bought them back 80s, 90s, and just let them sit. Went out of business. It was a local dealer that I've never heard of, so it was way before my time. At least, being in the gun industry, or being interested in guns in general, but very, very cool. Original boxes, of course, manual, paperwork. Very interesting. We'll keep moving. Okay, so our store, if you guys remember, I would do these sort of gun store tour vlogs back when we were in a gun and ammo shortage, still kind of in an ammo shortage. And we were totally empty, and now we've gotten to this point where we are getting totally filled back up with firearms. And the interesting thing is everything on this side of the store is used, mainly from our website. And everything up here is now our new section. It used to be all of this was new, and then that last case right down there at the end was used. So the dynamic has really shifted. It's really cool. I love having used firearms over new because they're more interesting, more diverse, and also we can sell them at a less expensive price point, which allows more people to be able to buy them. But as you can see, we've just sort of turned into a used gun dealer, which is sort of what I always wanted to be anyway. But anyway, a lot of these you guys already saw. The footage up until this point was filmed a week or two ago when we got in that big collection, so a lot of this stuff. So we had like 333Cs from Marlin, Garand, some of the stuff you've seen, 1063 up on the top, AK. You guys have seen that MAC-10. Handy rifle there in the middle with the black furniture and 44 Magnum. A Spanish FR8, 308. Shotguns, 22s. That's a Tallow exclusive with a Mannlicher stock. Pretty cool, 1022. That's an AK-22 variant. Lots of surplus. That's a Hakim, an SKS, a Yugoslavian Mauser. That's a sporterized Enfield there in the middle. Some shotguns. And then handguns. Again, a lot of these you guys have already seen. A lot of these came from the collection, or you've either seen them there or on the weekly used gun review videos. I've got a lot of stuff here I'm going to show you some close-ups of that you may not have already seen. Another Dan Wesson there. It's a single action only Legion P220. And then this is the new section, which, yeah, who cares about new guns? And then our ammo, which is still awful. But we're getting it in about once a week now, as I've mentioned on my previous vlogs. Maybe twice a week in some cases, but the thing is it goes pretty quickly. So it always looks like it's empty. But we've got some 5.56, 223. Actually, 223 and 5.56, we are having a really easy time getting back in. Let's go check out what's in the back. You guys have already seen those AKs. More stuff that came in from the website that needs to be put in. This we're waiting on a part on. The owner of this knows what that is and what part we're waiting on. But once we get it, we'll be good to go. More stuff back here, more surplus that we need to get tagged. I'll pull some of these out and show you kind of close up what they are. This is interesting. This is an Ohio Ordnance Works BAR. M1918A3 they call it, and I'm not going to open it right now. We got it in new from them. It had some issues, mainly with getting the stock retaining sleeve off the back. Actually, Scott from Machine Gun Dad YouTube channel, go check him out, link will be in the description. He was kind enough to get on the phone with me and try and help me solve the issue, which I was unable to do. It's just the sleeve is on way too tight. So I'm sending it back to them to remove that for. I think they used a special vise to lock the thing into and then crank again. So they probably stand on the ratchet handle to get the thing off or something. I don't know how they got that on there, but it won't come off. But they've been very nice to work with, so I'm sending it back to them. They're just going to replace the stock for me and get it back. Putting a set of surplus stocks on there. So it looks like the 1918A2 that we have, the New England Small Arms. And the reason I got this is because I wanted to do a comparison video between the Ohio Ordnance version and the new one. So that'll be coming up maybe when I'm back in town in a couple weeks, because it'll take them at least 2 or 3 weeks to get this back to me, is what they said on the phone. But they've been great to work with, and my first impressions of this are actually really good. Being that I do currently own a real full auto one, it's really true to its original form. So I'll get really into detail on that. But let's pull out some firearms and sort of talk about those. Show you guys some more cool stuff. Okay, this one is incredibly cool. This is a Norenko 86S. A lot of you may not have seen this. Norenko, of course, Chinese pre-ban AKs, and this was a bullpup configuration that they had manufactured. Of course, chambered in 7.62 by 39. Used a detachable 20-round magazine. Now, the 30-rounders will fit, but they may interfere a little bit. Trickier to get out with that Bakelite pistol grip up there at the front. This one actually came on our website, WeBuyGuns.com, from a gentleman in Texas. So thank you for sending this one to us. I can't really get this in with one hand. I'm doing this all one-handed. It sort of has the FAMAS or FAMAS sort of carry handle look and aesthetic. You have the charging handle here at the top, similar to an FAMAS as well. And essentially, if you look at it, it's really the AK receiver sort of in the back. Sorry for the interruption there, guys. I am open today, so there might be people in and out as I'm filming this video. But anyway, I don't really remember where I left off, but not very many of these are brought into the country, a few thousand. This one is serial number 1066, so one of the earlier ones. Not in the best conditions, some finish wear throughout, may have been used for hunting. The iconic sort of fish face muzzle brake up here at the front is gone and was replaced with a muzzle nut, unfortunately. But otherwise, really nice, very uncommon AK variant bullpup. If you disassemble it, very similar to an AK. Top cover here comes off. This is actually sort of hooked into the top of the operating rod. This bolt carrier group similar to, again, bolt carrier and bolt, very similar if not identical to what you find on a standard AK. So everything was sort of just shifted up to the front, giving it the sort of bullpup appeal. So interesting commercial import firearm from the late 1980s. Don't really typically see these come in. This is definitely a pretty uncommon one, and happy to get in and share it with you guys. I don't think I'll have it on a weekly used gun review video, since I pretty much told you most of what I know about it anyway, but really cool nonetheless. So again, thanks to our viewer in Texas for sending this to us, and I'll show you guys a couple of other cool ones. Now this is one that comes to us from a viewer in Georgia. This is a Federal Arms Corp FA91, which is really a HK91 or a G3 clone. Has this very weird, clunky looking bulged receiver. Has a traditional G3 or HK91 trigger group housing and trigger assembly, rear buttstock, and forward grip. Cocking tube up here at the front. This company actually, they went out of business in the early 2000s, like 2003, 2004, and although these were actually known for being pretty good rifles considering their price point, they were definitely a lot better than the Century Arms builds from around that same time period. But they did not have enough success to keep them in business, and they did go out of business, maybe due to the untraditional lines of the receiver up here. Also, they did suffer from a phenomenon called hard cocking. That is actually a technical term, maybe one of the best technical terms, but it is a technical term in which you basically have a series of rollers. This is a roller-locked firearm, and you do depend on those rollers receding back into the bolt carrier to unlock and move to the rear. So what would happen, and this was on an aluminum, it wasn't an aluminum, I think it was an entire aluminum receiver. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Due to the heat, after usually a magazine or two magazines, it would have a lot of hard time. There was a lot of tension put on those rollers, and it would have a really hard time being able to break the cocking tube against those rollers, which would really freeze up the gun in a lot of cases. You'd have to get out a mallet or something to try and break it loose. A very common problem on these, which may have been why they fell out of appreciation in the consumer market. Today they're not very expensive, $600 maybe retail for a used one, so still a lot cheaper than like a PTR 91 or an HK 91 for sure, but interesting nonetheless. So happy to get that in again from our viewer in Georgia, just to briefly share it with you guys on this vlog. Here's another interesting one. This is a KBI 1600, really meant to mimic sort of an AR-15. As you can see, this sort of A1 or A2 style buttstock, but this is all one wooden piece that's been painted black. This would have had a A2 style front sight here with a carry handle here in the rear, and this detachable magazine, sort of meant to mimic like a 20 round M16 magazine, but it's really a stick 22 mag. Kind of weird. This has a old narrow tube BB gun, Daisy BB gun scope on it. By the way, side note, I'm actually personally looking for an old retro narrow tube scope, like 3/4 inch tube, something like a Weaver or a Lyman, $200 to $300. If you have one, let me know. Email address is in the About Me section. I have a 1950s Mossberg & Sons 22 rifle, something I used to have a long time ago. I want to put an old retro scope back on it, just something for personal use. But anyway, if you have something, let me know. Side note. But anyway, back to this interesting rifle. They're not very expensive. These like $100 to $200 on the open market. So don't see too many of them. This is actually the first one I've ever had in here, but interesting nonetheless. All right, guys, that was just a quick sneak peek of some of the cool and interesting stuff that we continue to get in our store through the website. So thank you so much for all of that. Again, my apologies, I'm not getting videos out last week as well as over the next couple weeks. I'm going to be a little bit slow getting content out as we're going into a really hectic part of our schedule with the IV8888 shoot coming up, Randy being out of town, and then the launch of our new component on the We Buy Guns website coming up in about mid to late October. So things will be crazy. Thank you for your patience, and I will try to get new content out as I can and as I find the time to do so. So anyway, with that, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out this video. As always, I really appreciate a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy this content and want to come back and see future videos. I'm going to leave you guys off there. I am Chris with Marksman Shooting Sports and WeBuyGuns.com in Westfield, Indiana. You are watching Marksman TV. I will see you next time.